Hello, beautiful, vibrant souls. I hope you are feeling well today. It looks like we have this message for some of the collective who have started to recognize that there are miracles that exist, but you have to be present to receive them. Sometimes you have to put yourself in a position to be open to accepting those miracles. If you lock yourself away from the world and you don't answer those calls where people are trying to connect with you, trying to offer you an opportunity, that are trying to pull you back into the present moment, you're cutting yourself off from receiving all of these blessings that are trying to make their way to you. Now, you had to do that, right? You had to cut yourself off. You had to cut off some individuals that were taking and not giving. They were taking so much that you had depleted yourself to the point of no return. Except, of course, with a little bit of rest and recuperation, you were able to fill your own cup back up. But you have this very different mindset now. You understand that there are steps that need to be taken, that there is a process from point A to point B, and you need to mentally, physically prepare yourself and align yourself to receive what it is that you truly want and deserve. Now, we also want to talk about our Knight of Pentacles. He there are a lot of tantalizing opportunities out in the world. None of those it's there's a lot of too good to be true promises that are sometimes offered. Um, it seems as though somebody is trying to make it seem like it's so much easier than it is. And what you really truly understand now at this point is that there is some effort that you need to put in, and you need to keep some of these distractions at bay. These distractions are not helping you. So you're kind of in this work mode. You're putting your head down and you're doing what you need to do. You're taking what you have in front of you and you're creating the environment and you're creating the energy around you to welcome in the blessings that you were praying for this whole time. And unless you do that and unless you stay focused, you're going to continue to follow this pattern where you give to the wrong types of people and situations. So trust your instincts here. It seems like you're on path, and maybe you're questioning and doubting things. But when it feels too good to be true, it's because it is. When it feels like you have something to do, it's because you do. So this part of the message is in regards to that collective that had endured some really difficult situations. A lot of adversity, a lot of challenges had come your way, and it became extremely overwhelming to you. You did manage to make it through all of those situations. You knew that that was the best way for you to learn some lessons that you wouldn't have been able to learn in any other way. It was almost like these necessary difficulties cleared the path for that easier life that you were asking for, because now you are aware of some, I'm hearing like red flags. There was some red flags that you didn't trust yourself to see before. And then you learned the hard way. And now you're like, well, I really know what those red flags are. Lesson learned. Everything has been determined now and is clear now for me. I can see exactly what it is that I wasn't sure that I was seeing before, but now I can see it. Now there's no question about that. Um, so dealing with that uh, adversity, you get into this place where you feel a little bit beat down. It's you do need to take time. Spirit wants to reassure you that it is safe for you to rest. It is okay for you to take that downtime. It is okay for you to replenish the self, to nourish the self, because what you are doing is you are preparing yourself for the next stage in your journey. You cannot be a battered and broken soldier and then go into that next fight without taking a little bit of time to tend to your wounds, to get some food and water and some rest and prepare yourself for the next phase. Now, it does feel like it's going to be a lot easier for this next round. It doesn't feel like you're going to have to go through all those difficulties again. It feels so much easier for you. But why would you keep pushing yourself if spirit says you don't have to? You can take that time to rest and recuperate. You can take that time to prepare yourself. And when you do that, you are trusting the process. You're telling spirit, I know that I'm safe right now. I know that it's okay for me to rest. I know that what I desire and what I prayed for is coming to me. I trust you and I don't have to rush towards it. I don't have to run because I'm not going to lose out on it. I'm not going to miss it. I know it's there for me when the time is right. And what spirit needs for me to do right now is to prepare myself to receive it. And that means rest, replenishment, nourishing my soul, taking care of myself. I learned the lessons and now I'm going to forgive myself for that situation and love myself a little bit harder. So there's been some miscommunication and misunderstanding for this part of the collective message. There's been some, maybe there was a lack of communication that just wasn't happening. I feel like there was this individual who just didn't know how to communicate. You took it differently than they expected you to. You pulled away because you were like, well, if you can't communicate, then this isn't for me. They really weren't expecting that. You really threw them off with that when you pulled your energy back. But you know what? You have every right to do that. So you don't have to feel bad about that. That's not some mistake on your part. What you did instead is you made it clear to them that their lack of communication was conveying a very different message than they intended. Now they have to work towards it. Now they have to think about what it is that they want to say. And they have to be clear about it because they were given mixed signals, right? They were giving you this message that they didn't care. They were giving you this message that you weren't important, that you weren't valuable, that you didn't matter. And when you were like, I need this expressed, they backed off. They pulled it away. They stopped communicating entirely. And you were like, oh, well, I was right then, right? And you pulled back. And now they're going, oh, wait, that's not, feels like what is going on is that they are trying to figure out how to express themselves. They're struggling to apologize. They're struggling to figure out what to say. They're not sure that you're going to be open to hearing it. There's some challenge in they're not really good at communicating. So they're trying to learn how to do this effectively. If you are open to hearing what they have to say, make sure that you express that there's no hard feelings, that you're willing to give it a chance. Now, you don't have to say to them, I'm willing to hear what you have to say, because that's going to put a lot of pressure on, right? But this is about not being cold and silent. This is about, I'm just living my life. This is what I know and deserve. I'm open to anyone who is open to being in my life who has those correct intentions for me. And it lets them know that you're in a space where you are open and you are willing to hear them out. You're just not gonna bend until you break. You're gonna bend just enough to give them the opening, and if they want to take it, they can take it, and the rest is up to them. And it depends on how they communicate that. And if you resonate with it, then you can go forward, and if not, go your own way. No big deal, right? Many blessings to you on your journey.